Well, welcome in once again, everybody, to another edition, what promises to be another terrific edition of the 19th Hole Podcast for Golfers. I'm your host, Dennis Silvers, and we hope you're having a good time. We appreciate you watching us on the show today. It's going to be quite interesting. We've got a very interesting young woman on that's got a very, very interesting story as far as golf and some other things. As I always like to talk about, the weather here in Las Vegas, quite frankly, sucks. I mean, it snowed here yesterday in parts of the valley, and it's very, very cold. It was windy, so it's not really conducive to getting out there and playing a lot of golf. So we hope where you are, hopefully in your part of the country, I know a lot of parts of the country are getting beat up with cold weather, but hopefully you're in a warm spot and able to get out and at least practice and play some golf, and always improve your game. That's what we're all about, as you know. We've got somebody on the show today that I think is going to help you do that. She's multifaceted in what she does outside of golf, and we're going to learn about that right now. So it's my pleasure to introduce, and she's got a beautiful first name, Alejandra, and they call her Alex for short, Barnard. And she is a golf instructor and an influencer, which we're going to find out about. So welcome on to the show.
I appreciate you having me. Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure. We're glad that you're here. What do you think about this crazy weather we're having?
I don't like it. I hate it, actually.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
And I also hate 3 or 4 layers on the golf course. So
yeah,
you can't swing freely.
No, it's not real great. And we were just talking about that too, why people would go out. And there were actually people, as you know, playing yesterday in the cold when it's snowing and stuff. Why do they do that? Just to beat themselves up?
They're crazy.
They're
crazy.
Golf
is already hard enough. Why make it harder, right?
Yeah, why make it harder? It's a hard enough game. That's what I tell people. It's a hard enough game. Anyway, tell us a little bit about your background and growing up, where you're from, and how you arrived here in Las Vegas, because she is local. She's a golf instructor. So everybody here in Southern Nevada, you want to get better, you got to go see this lady. But anyway, tell us about growing up and stuff, where you were.
So I appreciate it. So I've lived in Las Vegas for 27 years. I'm originally from Oaxaca, Mexico. That's where I was born, and I was brought to the U.S. when I was 3 years old.
Okay.
So came to America.
Do you want to do the show in Spanish or keep it in English?
Sí, ¿por qué no?
No, that would be a big problema muy grande. Okay, go ahead.
On your Spanish. So I was brought to the U.S. when I was 3 as an immigrant. I lived in Compton, as a matter of fact.
Did you really?
Yes.
Compton became very famous with that movie. I forgot the title of it, but yeah, Compton's quite a place.
The streets of CPT.
Yeah.
So I grew up in a really tough environment, very poor, and moved to Las Vegas in '95, and I've been here since then.
What brought you here to Las Vegas specifically?
My family. My dad was looking for a job, and Vegas was the place where he was able to find one, and we've been here. I love it here. I think it's a great city.
Yeah.
A lot of fun things to do, as you know. You can go shopping. You can go to restaurants, beautiful restaurants, shows.
Entertainment capital of the world.
Absolutely.
And that's why we're here at the great Rigel Studios here in the center of Las Vegas, steps away from the world-famous Las Vegas Strip. But we got some good golf courses here, too.
We have some
if you're
great
into golf like
courses,
you are,
yes.
It's not a problem.
It's not a problem.
Yeah, yeah. Let me diverse a little bit. There are various kinds of golf courses, as you know, desert style, heavily treed, narrow. What type of golf course do you prefer?
I prefer something that's a little bit more challenging. So I'm used to playing challenging golf courses, and I think that's how I became pretty good at golf, is not playing golf courses that were easy for me. So I don't mind different style of golf courses. I'm not keen to desert golf course, mostly because if you don't have like a wedge to hit it out of the desert, then your clubs are getting damaged.
That's true.
So, when you're living in the desert, you always have to have
what we call a rock club here in Las
club,
Vegas.
yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's true.
So that's the only reason why I don't like desert golf.
But you're not supposed to be in the damn desert in the first
Yes,
place.
so for me, I'm never in the desert, so I don't carry a rock club.
Yeah, no, I get that. Let me ask you, and kick it off this way, Alex. What piqued your interest in learning how to play golf? Because when you started learning how to play golf, you weren't exactly a small child.
No, I started playing golf when I was 30.
Okay.
So I love trying new things. And I just had finished doing I'm a master diver. So I went through the entire training of scuba diving. And once I reached that goal and I was very passionate about it, it was like, okay, what do I do next? Right. So I started taking lessons for a year, and I didn't go to the golf course. So I was like a range rat for an entire year because I was embarrassed of whether I was going to hold up play and how I was going to look on the golf course. So I took 1 to 2 lessons a month, and I practiced about 4 to 5 hours each time.
Wow, that's exceptional.
I love practicing. It's one of my favorite things to do.
That's exceptional. See, and that's interesting because most people love playing as opposed to practicing.
Exactly.
So, and it's important to talk about that to our viewers. You got to practice in the right way, don't you?
Exactly. So I always say practice with a purpose. Have in mind what you're trying to accomplish, and then implement drills. And so I always say practice is like exercising. Mm-hmm. So you don't go to the gym and do 1 set of bench presses and 1 set of squats.
Right.
You do sets.
Right.
3, 5 sets, and then reps, and repeat that over and over and over again. Because I always say golf is repetitive. Yeah. You're repeating the same golf swing, the same putting stroke.
Hopefully. Yeah.
And so if you're repeating that over and over again, it's going to stick. But if you just go to the range and you're constantly just hitting golf balls and you don't know what you're doing, you're never going to improve.
No, and you practice the wrong things.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's very good advice. Practice with a purpose. You're known on social media, not only with your name, but also another name. Tell everybody what that is, what that means, and how that came about.
So my followers call me Mommy, and that is actually a Spanish term that either significant others use with each other, or either my kids would call me Mommy, which means mom, or your significant other calls you Mommy, which is a term of endearment,
right? Like
sweetheart or honey. So it just kind of stuck, mostly because I'm Spanish, obviously, and then I put an acronym to it and made it more of my style, which is motivate, aspire, munificent, inspire, because that's what I love to do, is just motivate and inspire people. And so instead of being some sexy Latin slang word, turn it into something more inspiring.
That's very cool. To be honest with you, I did not know that was an acronym for those 4 for those 4 words.
Yes. So because I love, like I said, motivating people, and I love giving up my time and helping others to get better in golf, and that's what I'm all about, is inspiring others.
Yeah. And we're going to talk about your mentorship and how that came about a little bit. Also, you are a golf teacher. How are you developing that business with all of the other things that you're involved in? How are you doing that?
So I just started, I decided to start instructing and helping and mentoring other players, especially new golfers, not only how to hit a golf club, but also how to act and look like golfers. Because there's a lot of things about, as you're learning the game, you're not just learning how to swing a club,
right?
But there's so many other aspects of the golf game that you learn as you go, and it takes time.
Yes.
The golf rules, the golf etiquette. And so what I want to do is eliminate those fears from people, especially from women. because golf can be discouraging and scary.
Yeah. To everybody.
And I mean, if you go to the range as a new golfer that doesn't know anything, everybody else looks like a professional golfer, right?
Right.
And you don't know any better.
Right.
You think, oh my God, that person has the most amazing
Yeah,
swing, and then
yeah.
later on, you're like, he's swinging like a 20 handicap.
Yeah.
But it's still scary, right? Because you don't know. They look a lot better than you.
Yeah. It becomes intimidating.
It's intimidating, exactly. So my goal is to remove that fear and intimidation and basically help them in other ways, not just learning how to swing a golf club.
Because there's a lot of facets to this game. You're right. Not only is it mechanical, there's rules, there's etiquette procedures, there's the mental part and the whole deal. So
Right.
something that she does, which I find very interesting and really extraordinary, you hit balls in practice every day outside, of course, if it's lousy weather, if it's snowing, or something like that. First of all, why do you feel the necessity to do that? Secondly, what do you work on? And walk us through the progressions of the instructors that you have had.
So
Can you remember all of that? I know that's 3 questions.
Yes.
Okay.
You might have to repeat that again.
All right. I'll be happy to.
So I've had 3 golf instructors. With my first instructor, Jim Delaney, he's the director of golf at Southern Highlands. He was amazing. He's the one that helped me with basically falling in love with the game.
Okay.
And he was very patient with me, and I just love everything that he did. But I got to a point in my game that I realized that my golf swing didn't look like the golf pros. Because I was watching golf a lot, and I'm like, wait, my swing looked like a 20 handicap swing, right? After like 3 years. And and so then I switched to my second instructor, which was Jerry Montiel at Red Rock.
Okay.
And he was great as well. But I also noticed a few things that he was kind of teaching me the same things as other golfers.
Okay.
And I just wasn't feeling it anymore. And I worked with him for about 2 years. And then eventually I ended up with my swing coach that I have now. And I still see him from time to time because sometimes I need another set of eyes
Sure.
to look at my swing.
Absolutely.
So he was more technical and used the TrackMan and realized that there were some things in my swing that I needed to change. And that's where I noticed a bigger improvement.
Okay.
Now, I do have a short game coach that I see every once in a while. That was Bob May.
Okay.
And
And Bob Mays play on the PGA Tour, and he's also an instructor, and Bob's pretty well known. Lives here in Las Vegas. He's a homie. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes, Bob is great, and he, like you say, was on the PGA Tour, and so I wanted to learn short game from a real professional golfer, right? Somebody that's out there playing on a regular basis,
Right.
knows the golf shots, has had those lies. And so we basically play different types of lies, different types of not just hitting a wedge from the bunker. It's
Right.
many other things.
Right.
An A wedge, depending on your yardage, or a pitching wedge, depending on the yardage. So it's fun to be able to experiment with all those things that a regular instructor usually doesn't implement, because a lot of golf instructors are not actually playing golf.
True.
They're just teaching.
Right.
So that's kind of what I bring to my teaching students and instruction is the fact that I actually play golf. And I have been there. I've been under the trees. I've been in the bushes. I have been in the desert. So it's just learning all these small aspects
Right.
of the golf game that you don't really know sometimes.
Do you think that you can be a good or even top instructor without having played competitively?
I believe so, yes.
Because there are a few of those guys out there.
Right. And I give an example of my swing coach now, Jay Gilmer. He was not on tour. He didn't play competitively.
Right.
He doesn't really even play golf. So he was a firefighter, I believe, and he just kind of started instructing. And he's a great instructor. I love him. But I also think that you get a lot from an instructor or a person who knows how to play golf.
Yeah, I do too.
You know,
I do too. I think that's a little bit of the advantage that they have, because like you say, they've been there, done that. So
Exactly.
they know what's going on and all that stuff. On the, well, not on the other hand, but before we take our first short break, what do you think about playing lessons? And have you had playing lessons? A lot of instructors
Yes.
look at playing, some put more importance on it than others, which I find interesting, but what do you think about it?
so I haven't taken a playing lesson,
Okay.
but I've given playing lessons.
Okay.
And I think it's very important because you can see every aspect of the golf
Right.
game, right? So I was actually playing with a friend 2 days ago, and he wasn't really expecting to get a playing lesson from me, but he just started playing golf 2 years ago. And I started noticing certain things that he was doing, and he had told me that he was close to breaking 80. And I thought that was great after 2 years of playing golf,
Yeah.
right? It took me 4 years to break 80. So
Well, you're a slow learner.
yes. So, like I said, we were just discussing about why he decided on a par 5, and he was in the bunker. And I says, "Why did you decide to pull out your 5 iron?" Because he hit it in the bushes. And he says, "Well, it's the longest club I have."
Oh.
And I says, "Yeah, but," I says, "why don't you put yourself in the fairway and play it smart?" I says, "Because the truth is, you're not going to get there." I says,
Right.
"You're 270 yards. Does your 5 iron, can you hit it to 70 yards?"
Yeah.
And he says, "No." I says, "Okay, well, don't do that again." I says, "If you're trying to break 80, play smarter, not harder."
Yeah, exactly right.
And so, and then another thing that I noticed is that when he was putting, he just got up and just like hit the ball really quickly. And I says, "Why would you do that?" I says, "The pros have a putting routine." I says, "Why wouldn't you have a putting routine? Follow what the pros are doing, right? Don't take 10 minutes doing
Right.
it, right? But have a putting routine, a practice routine,
Right.
take a swing, a practice swing." And so we talked about the line on the golf ball. And I says, line up the golf ball to your intended line. And so he says, "Well, how do I know if I'm lined up correctly?" I says, "Well, if you're just standing there," I says, "how do you know your eyes aren't lying to you?" So when he started doing that, he had about a 10-foot putt for par, and he made it. And he looked at me with the most happiest
wow,
smile.
that's great.
And then after that, he started lining the ball. And then I started realizing he was taking he was moving the line 4 or 5 times, and we started laughing. And I said, "Okay, let's not do
Yeah,
that."
let's not do that. Yeah, we got to finish before it gets dark. But as you know, there's a lot to putting. There's your stroke. There's reading greens as far as uphill, downhill, into the grain. With the grain, other influences around that may determine how the putt breaks and all that stuff. So, yeah, you're right. It's good. All right, I'll tell you what, we're going to step away, take our first short break. We're going to kick it off with Tea Time with JT. She is absolutely wonderful, and we'll come back. We'll have a lot more with Alejandro. Stay with us.
Welcome to Tea Time Fitness with Janice. Hi, I'm Janice Thornton, your golf fitness guru. So today let's talk rotator cuff, because we want to make sure that we have great shoulder stability and we want to keep that rotator cuff strong. This is a great exercise for that. Grab a TheraBand, you can grab some tubing, put your arms so that you're forming a 90-degree angle, shoulders down, scapulas down. You're going to tuck your abdominals in. We're going to go out, leading with your hands, go out and back in. You're going to go out and back in. Lead with those hands and going out and back in. We're working that shoulder, that rotator cuff. Now, when you finish your set, do 12 reps. I want you to do pulses. So you're going to be out here, and then we're going to do some small pulses. Do 6 to 8 small pulses and hold that last one and let it come on in. Your shoulders are going to love you. Take your golf game to the next level and get to jtfitnessandgolf.com.
When I first learned about Encore, I was a little taken back because I didn't know much about the ball. I went out and played a couple rounds with it, and I was just extremely surprised how this ball made up for what I was looking for in a golf ball 20 years ago. It's a very straight ball. It launches a little higher than other balls that I've used, which is ideal for the tour because we're playing firm and fast greens. A lot of the balls do fly very similar, but this ball reacts so much differently around the greens and inside 100 yards than any other ball I've ever played. The combination of this ball is the best ball that I've ever played.
All right, welcome back, everybody. I'm Dennis Overs along with Alejandra, and we're having a great conversation. And one thing I wanted to ask you again, you practice every day. What do you do?
I know my tendencies, so I try and practice on a daily basis, whether it's my short game, my long game, but I try and do something at least for 10 minutes.
Okay.
So I always say you don't have to go to the range to practice.
No, you don't.
So I usually have like a golf club and an alignment stick in my bedroom or in my living room. And that reminds me that I need to practice something.
Okay.
So I grab my alignment stick and my 9-iron and just practice alignment or practice swing plane. There's so many things that you can do at home without having to leave your house. So I always say 10 minutes a day is better than 0.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially amateurs, we don't like to practice.
Yeah.
It's not fun.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
But it's also not fun not hitting fairways.
You mentioned that about having a Bob May as a short game coach, which is short games, obviously. I call it the scoring part of the game. It's
Absolutely.
so important. What can instructors do like yourself to make the short game more sexy where amateurs want to practice their short game, chipping, putting,
Right.
that type of thing?
So some of the things that I do, because it's not fun, right? But it's the way I see it is it's fun when you make that birdie, that one putt for birdie,
Sure.
or that one putt to save par, right?
Totally.
So driving the ball 300 yards is awesome.
Yeah.
But making that one putt, it's like the ultimate flex.
Yeah.
And so
Or chipping it in. which
right,
is-
exactly. And so the way I try and do my practice sessions is whether I have an hour, I try to implement about 10, 15 minutes of chipping, another 20 minutes of putting,
Right.
and then the rest, long game. But I kind of go back and forth, and I give myself drills to do. So
Okay.
when I'm on the putting green, I put down like 3 drills that I'm going to do.
Okay.
I either bring in a mirror, a putting mirror. I have one of the pelts, putting aids, or
Those are great.
or do the gate drill. And so I set it all up, three of them, and I just go back and forth, back and forth. And then I just take breaks in between, do something like do flop shots and something that's fun to kind of get you out of that mentality that this is boring. But it's just kind of making it fun and
Yeah.
kind of playing games with yourself, right? Doing like little competitions with yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, there's no other way to make putting or chipping fun.
Yeah.
Maybe take a friend and and do little games with them.
Unless you're putting for a few bucks, which I
Right,
used to
exactly.
do, which is, if you have a 3-putt, you owe everybody $1, that type of thing.
Absolutely.
Or if you knock it in, a 30-footer, you get $1 or something like that. No, that's very good. Dave Pelz is a good one. He's been on the show many times. I've been to his home in Austin. He's absolutely awesome. And if you're learning from Dave Pelz, he's written a couple of great books and stuff. You have a mission, and I'm going to call it a mission, to promote getting women involved playing golf. What are some of your ideas about that, and how are you going to execute those ideas?
So my mission right now is to help other women who are basically the same age as me, older, who don't think that they can play golf because it's too late for them. They have kids, a husband, and whatnot. And so my goal is to basically...
Well, you've got a husband.
Do I?
He doesn't interfere with your golf work. Yeah.
So, yes, I have a husband.
Yes.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
So my goal is to basically help them know that if I can do it, they can do it as well, right? And golf is a lifetime sport, so it doesn't matter when you start. The truth is, you can play golf till you're 90, 100.
This is true. That's one of the benefits of the game.
Absolutely. So my women's group is called For Women Only, FORE.
That's
Yes.
very clever.
And so right now, I've started a social media platform for it. And what we're doing is just promoting other female golfers of any age, any handicap, and promoting them on the page. But my ultimate goal is to basically have a women's golf club, not a golf course, but a club where women can come in and get instructions from female golfers, have simulators where women can practice indoors because we don't like to be hot, we don't like to be cold. And also learn, like I said, not only how to play golf, but also how to act like golfers and look like golfers. Learn golf etiquette and golf rules. And it can be discouraging when you go to the golf course and you're not dressed properly. And other women come up to you and say, well, you can't wear that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Or the pro shop comes and tells you, you can't wear that. So now you got to go and spend $300 on a golf apparel that doesn't fit.
Yeah.
And you feel horrible. You
True.
feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So we want to eliminate that fear from them and just help them just focus on their golf game, which is the most important part.
Absolutely. And I don't say this in a bad way, but I've talked to other women who are very competitive and stuff. Women are a lot more catty on the golf course than men, aren't they?
Very. I've had
Do you
my
have a
share.
particular story you'd
I have a lot of stories.
give us one that
Because
you can talk about.
So I grew up playing golf in a country club, and it's like I said, it's pretty discouraging. Women can be very nice to your face.
Yeah.
And I've gotten invites like, call me, and they give me their number. And when I see them the next time, they're with their group of friends, they don't even say hi. They like turn around.
Really? Yes. Oh my goodness.
And I'm like, okay, let's schedule a tea time. Oh, we're busy.
Really?
I've had women try to get me disqualified from tournaments.
Oh my goodness.
And so I'm not going to say who, but you know who you are.
You know who you are. Yeah.
I mean,
That's incredible.
Yes. So it's sad though, because a lot of women say that they want to grow the game, and then they do this crap.
Yeah, there's no
and to
no
me
room for that.
To me, the way I see it is, I play with with any handicap, even if it's a beginner golfer. And I play with a lot of my friends who just started playing golf a year ago. And it's just really cute to watch them get so excited about me hitting a golf shot that I probably didn't hit that great. and they're clapping and they're smiling and they're having such a good time. But I also love to help them out and tell them, okay, just change this.
Yeah.
And it's just so amazing to just watch them just flourish and be so happy when they hit that golf shot and make good contact.
Oh, totally. It's just if you don't play, you really don't understand it. But that's what makes you come back, and that's an old saying. We touched on it a little bit before, but tell us about this idea, and I think it's a very cool idea about putting this bus together.
So it goes back to the women's
I'm
golf.
talking about a school bus here. I'm talking about a big bus. Yeah.
So like I said, it goes back to the same idea of a women's golf club. And I'm not sure if I'm going to implement it, but it's definitely an idea that I'm really thinking hard about it. Instead of maybe doing a golf club that's in Las Vegas, why not take it mobile? And now we can reach other states, like go to California
Right.
and park the bus at a country club or at a church or at a hospital, and now help children, help juniors, help seniors. And we're giving instruction not only for an hour, but it's almost like a golf mastermind or a golf workshop or a golf boot camp, right? And so, like I said, we're not just helping them in just one aspect of the game, but in every aspect, right? So you don't leave just thinking, okay, well, I perfected my slice, but what about my chipping and my putting, and what about the golf rules, and what about the golf etiquette?
Yeah, but Alex, I don't mean to interrupt you, but don't you think that might be a little overwhelming for some people?
It can be.
Yeah, all of that coming at
Absolutely.
you in one bus,
Absolutely.
in one day.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But that's why you can sign up for more classes.
Okay, I got it.
If it's too overwhelming. I mean, but when you go to like a mastermind, business mastermind, you're getting all this information.
Well, that's true.
Right?
That's a fair point.
So I would rather learn all this stuff now versus a year from now, and then learn it from one of the caddy ladies where you're playing against, and she's telling you, well, you can't do that. And now you're embarrassed, and now you probably got a penalty. I mean, I play in a lot of women's leagues, and they can be really tough.
Yeah, they can be tough. Let me ask you this before we take our next break. One of the adjectives you use describing yourself as being a mentor. What do you mean by that?
So like I said, my focus is basically I don't consider myself like a golf coach. I consider myself more of a mentor in helping people become better, helping them, advising them in the sport of golf, not just in the way that they're swinging, but in many other ways. And so it's just, for me, it's just more about helping others and helping them practice with a purpose.
Okay.
And getting better at golf, not just the swing, but it's mindset. It's many other aspects of the game.
Right. No, and that's great, and that's what mentoring is all about. All right, we're going to step away again, take a short break. We'll come back. We'll finish up with Alejandra, and we've got some other areas to get into. So stay with us. Don't move. We're back right after this. Hey golfers, I've been a golf talk show host for a long time, and I've been playing golf even longer. Being in golf media, I've had the chance to play every ball ever made. I've tried them all. Well, my search is finally over because I found the best ball I have ever played with, and more golfers are finding the same thing. I started playing with the Elixir golf ball made by Encore Golf. Encore Golf has revolutionized both their golf balls, the Elixir or the Avant 55, or the brand new Vero X1, to where the performance of either will simply blow you away. It did me. If you're looking for better performance and durability with your ball, Encore Golf has it. Don't just take my word for it. Check them out at EncoreGolf.com and you'll become convinced, as I am, the first time you tee it up with Encore. It's the best performing ball for the price. Go to EncoreGolf.com and see for yourself. Your scorers will love you for it. That's ONCORE golf.com.
Experience a salon like no other. Charm Beauty Lounge specializes in hair, skin, and a non-surgical, painless way to fuller hair, designed to boost hair volume up to 400% without glue or solvents. Make your appointment today. Call 702-201-1655.
Hey! Hey, beautiful, come on in. Charm Beauty Lounge. Charm Beauty Lounge.
All right, we are back for a little bit more, finishing up the show, and we've got people are going crazy here in the studio. Listen to this. I mean, they're just.
Thank you so much.
It's unbelievable. What do you think? And you mentioned you watch men's professional golf, women's professional golf. What do you think the biggest difference is between the two tours? Obviously, men are physically a little bit bigger, stronger, but pertaining to their game, is it shot making? Is it course management? What do you think it is?
I mean, there's not a big difference. I think that the LPGA women on tour, I mean, they're amazing, and they definitely can play. But the thing is that we put so much emphasis on the men because, I mean, they're driving at 350, and they're making these amazing golf shots. And unfortunately, even for myself, I don't watch the LPGA too much. I watch the men's golf channel because it's more exciting.
Well, yeah.
And that's sad,
Bottom line is, let's be honest, it is. It is. Women can't, and I'm not knocking them or anything like that, but they can't pull off, if you want to use that word, some of the shots that the men do, which is just incredible.
I mean, I think it would be fun to watch the LPGA and the PGA Tour play against each other. I mean, I think that would be amazing if they had something like that, where they're playing as partners or a scramble, just to make golf fun and exciting. But overall, I don't know what it's missing, but it's missing something.
It's missing something. I agree with you. Well, years back, and they don't have it these days for some reason, they had tournaments where they would pair a man tour player with a woman, and they would be in competition with another twosome or something like that. For some reason, all of that has gone away, but maybe one day they'll revamp it. Since you're mentoring, we're talking about coaching, teaching, or whatever, what do you think the key or keys are to being a good golf coach? Is it the message or the philosophy? Is it the same for men and women, and how do you separate it in your helping out?
So I think one of the most important parts of teaching is teaching in a simple manner where people can understand. Because I've gotten lessons from a lot of golf instructors, and I leave the lesson like, what did he say?
Yeah, well, that's how I divide it up. There's technical people and there's untechnical people, and I'm with you. I go by the KISS rule, keep it simple, stupid.
Right, exactly.
Because I'm still trying to get out of high school, but they still have to have good traits.
Right. So, I mean, like I said, I've had those lessons where I go and he's talking about, your angle of attack, and I'm like, what the hell is that? Right. Yeah. So if you keep it just so simple to someone, they're going to keep coming back and they're going to understand. Right. And sometimes it's just the way you change the message and you say it that all of a sudden clicks in your mind.
I agree completely.
And you're like, oh, wow, I didn't realize that if I just moved my shoulder this way, or rotate my shoulder to my chin, that simple, that I could make a good golf turn,
Exactly.
So it's just keeping it simple.
Exactly.
Instead of being technical.
I totally agree.
And I think a lot of instructors want to be technical because it looks cool.
Cool.
It sounds cool.
I agree. 100%. I agree 100%.
But we don't understand what the hell they're saying.
I agree 110%. With the people that you work with, Alex, do you give them, when they leave, do you give them more than one swing thought, or you just work on one thing primarily?
So I try and work on about 3 things with them, and then give them homework is what I call. So I personally love when a coach gives me drills and homework to do. And so therefore I can do those drills at home or on the range. And then I just tell them to repeat that and do it for 10 minutes or 15 minutes a day. And the thing is that once you get started for 10 minutes, all of a sudden 30 minutes pass by, right? And so now you've practiced for 30 minutes instead of 10.
Right.
So it's just, it's implementing daily practice routines versus nothing.
Right. Yeah. A little bit of something every day goes a long way.
Absolutely, yes.
You know, like you say, you don't have to be outside. There's a lot of stuff you can do inside the house.
And I mean, nowadays they have social media has really good instructors.
Yeah.
People are giving really good swing tips on Instagram, on YouTube. But call me instead.
I like that. And you're going to be hearing a lot more about here. All right, I'll tell you what. We're up against a hard break. Let's take that, and we'll come back and we will finish up for real with Alejandra. So we're back right after this.
As golfers, we want instant gratification when it comes to a better golf swing and playing better golf. Impossible, you say? Not anymore. Golf Boost Artificial Intelligence, AI, has developed and patented the most advanced swing analysis technology in golf. Simply, the algorithms detect your body position and then analyze your golf swing using their artificial intelligence technology. The AI captures all the relevant data from your swing video and then presents you a personalized lesson. Golf Boost AI is the ultimate swing analysis and virtual instruction system for golfers of all ages and abilities. This sophisticated software takes into consideration your height and build, playing level, and returns the ideal solution for your swing. Bottom line, Golf Boost AI is an incredibly convenient and cost-effective tool for golfers to improve their swing. Go to golfboost.com and check it out. The app is free to download and try. Visit golfboost.com today.
Innovation begins at a single point. Elements, each with their unique character. Fire-forged steel creates unprecedented control. Chemistry delivers a touch so soft, combined to create a level of performance previously unimagined. Like magic, the Elixir, the new tour ball from Encore.
All right, before we finish up, you are also very well known on social media. You have a pretty good following. You are an influencer. What is an influencer? How do you become an influencer? And who do you influence for?
You can influence a lot of people, actually, just by what you do. And I grew my following just mostly because of golf.
Right.
And so before I had a private account, but once I started playing golf, I realized, wait, I'm just going to just post me golfing and doing, and people can follow my golf journey.
Right.
And I think people just like the fact that I was really trying to get better.
Right.
And all of a sudden it just became a thing. And now I've turned it into a business. And, you know, whether I'm getting free equipment or sponsors or promoting a golf resort or promoting a tournament, there's many ways that you can earn money from social media.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And so just having a niche, which is what I have now, and you can become an influencer having a niche. You can be a scuba diver, you can be a Harley Davidson babe, many things. You have to just make sure that you follow and stay within that niche.
Exactly.
And
grow that.
And grow that, exactly.
When you told me you became a master scuba diver or whatever, I just automatically assumed you were hitting a hell of a lot of balls in the water. And you were going after them.
Probably the first couple of years, yes. Yes. And then I was putting my scuba gear to go get your golf balls as well.
That hurts. Thank you very much. No, we played golf for the first time last weekend, and I have to tell you that Alex is really an elite player. He's got a beautiful golf swing, is really, really good. And I want you to tell everybody, if hopefully they are interested in getting better, how do they get a hold of you? How do they follow you on social media?
So you can follow me on Instagram, golfmommy_. I also have a website, mommyunlimited.com, and you can send me a message, DM me, and I might reply to you.
Now you will reply to them, yeah.
Just stay professional.
Yeah, but stay professional. Alex, and we forgot to mention quickly, has won a number of club championships.
Yes, so
Right.
I'm the 4-time club champion at Sherwood Country Club in Thousand Oaks, and 2-time club champion at Southern Highlands, and former club champion at Red Rock. Yes, twice.
Wow.
2016 and 2017.
Wow, that's impressive. That's impressive.
And then I have little other trophies, about 20 trophies.
Oh, stop it. Stop it.
I'm trying to get a couple more before I retire,
Well, yeah.
before I hit the senior tour.
Yeah, the senior tour. I like that. I like that. Anyway, it was great having you on.
Thank you
great
so much.
information. I wish you all the best with your promotion with women's golf and your mentoring and all of that stuff. And we'd like to have you back sooner than later.
I appreciate it, Dennis. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
no, it was great. It was great. All right, that's going to wrap it up for this edition of the 19th Hole Podcast for golfers. And for Alejandra, I'm Dennis Silvers, and we're going to see you back same place, same time next week. So keep it in the fairway, everybody. So long.